Today's movie kicks off in Chicago, Illinois, and we meet a serial killer named Marcus Groen. We find out that businessmen always need him, so he can pull off assassinations on other businessmen for cash. One time, Marcus was in disguise. He was wearing a mustache that didn't fit him, and he went into a restaurant and he ordered a soda like everybody else. But he was there to take out a Chinese dude and his crew. As soon as the guy went into the bathroom, Marcus went after him. He attacked his men, and he stabbed the first one in the throat with his glasses, and he hit the second one with his gun. After that, he went into the bathroom after the Chinese guy. He killed him, and he took a picture with his phone. Then he washed the blood off his hands, and he fixed his mustache, and he quickly walked out of the restaurant. Right after, he went to a bakery, and he sent the picture to the guy he was working for. While he was on his way home, the guy called him, and he told him he had another mission, and he wanted him to do it tomorrow. But Marcus told him tomorrow was his wedding anniversary, and he asked him to postpone it for another day. But the guy didn't agree, and he told him the world ain't gonna wait for your anniversary, and I'll call you tomorrow with all the details. Anyway, the next day comes, and Marcus says goodbye to his wife and daughter, and he promised his wife he'd take her out another day for their anniversary because he had important work today. After that, the guy called him, and he told him he had to be at the restaurant at 8 p.m., and he'd send him the person he needed to kill. Night comes, and Marcus gets ready, and he puts on a disguise, but this time he wears a big beard. At that time, his wife also gets a message from him on her phone. It says he's waiting for her at the restaurant, and she immediately changes her clothes, and she goes to the restaurant to meet him. At that moment, Marcus was waiting for their picture, and as soon as he saw him, he started following him. But his wife saw him then, and she went after him. But at that time, the target was showing his friends a tiny chip, but it was the size of 1,000,000 supercomputers. But suddenly, Marcus attacked him, and he used his friend as a shield until he got to them. After that, he kept shooting them until he finished off a few of them, and he grabbed the target. He beat him up until he broke his leg. But then he saw a guy walking out of the bathroom, and he shot at him. But Marcus threw a knife at him. It stabbed him in the chest and killed him. After that, he went back to the guy again, and he shot him too, and he died. But then his wife was calling him from behind the door, and as soon as he opened it, he found she'd been shot in the stomach, and unfortunately she died in his arms. Marcus then cried and screamed as loud as he could. A year passes since his wife's death, and Marcus was going through a real tough time emotionally, and he kept having nightmares because of what happened to his wife, and he was always remembering their memories together, and he'd sit and cry. At that time, Marcus went to see his mother-in-law, and he thanked her for taking care of his daughter, but she told him, "What are you talking about? She's my granddaughter." She also told him she wanted him to start a new life because his daughter was being affected by the state he was in, and he had to get away for a bit and start fresh from the beginning so they could live together again. But Marcus then went back to his hideout. He put all the evidence in front of him that could lead him to the person who killed his wife. But suddenly, someone threw an envelope under the door and ran away. And as soon as Marcus opened the envelope, he found a flash drive inside, and he immediately plays it on his computer. Then a video appears of a guy named Kurz, and he asks him to kill the greatest assassin in the world for $10 million. And he told him if he agreed to send him the letter Y, and all the travel expenses to Tokyo would be on them. Anyway, the next day comes, and it's his daughter's birthday. He celebrates it with her and her grandmother, and when they finish, he goes back to his hideout. Someone knocks on the door, and as soon as he opens it, he sees Kurz in front of him, and he told him, "I just came to talk to you for a couple minutes, and then I'm leaving." But Marcus asked him, "How did you find my place?" So he told him, "Nothing is hidden from us." And he also asked him, "Why didn't you respond to me about the mission?" So Marcus told him, "I have more important things to do than money." But Kurz then told him, "We know about the accident that happened to your wife, and we also know you're looking for her killer." But he told him, "I'm bringing you the chance of a lifetime that'll let you live like a king for the rest of your life." And he asked him, "Do you know Yuri Dracos?" So he told him, "Who doesn't know him? They say he's killed more people than the plague." So Kurz told him his boss wanted to kill him. But Marcus told him, "I left that life a long time ago, and I want to raise my daughter peacefully." So he told him that this money would let him and his daughter live without worrying about school, health, or anything else. And he gave him his card, and he told him, "I'm waiting for you to call me." But then he got a call, and someone told him his daughter was in the hospital. So he immediately went to the hospital, and he found his daughter admitted, and the doctor told him she had an enlarged heart, and if they didn't do surgery, she'd have heart failure, and she could die. At that time, his daughter called him, so he immediately went to her while crying, and he promised her she'd be okay, but she had to hang in there until she woke up. Right after that, he called Kurz, and he told him he agreed to the mission. Marcus then goes to his friend Axe, and he tells him he's traveling for a mission, but Axe told him, "Didn't God forgive you? And you stayed away from this stuff?" But Marcus told him, "This time I have to, cause my daughter's sick, and I need a lot of money for her surgery." But then he told him, "I can give you some money I saved up. You can use it to get by, instead of going back to that awful path." But Marcus told him, "You have a family, and you need them, just like I need mine." So Axe asked him, "Who are you going to kill this time?" So he told him, "Dracos." Axe was shocked then, and he told him, "Do you know who you're talking about? And how are you going to kill him? No one even knows what he looks like." So he told him, "I need a file from you with all of Dracos' history and movements, cause I have to see him before I travel." Anyway, the next day Marcus arrives in Tokyo, and Kurz is there to greet him. After that, he gets to the place where they're going to talk about the job. But there, Marcus sees more than one person besides him, and they all came for the same mission. But there was one guy there who couldn't stand any of them, and he told Kurz he'd work alone, and he didn't need these weaklings with him. But another guy was about to fight him, but Kurz stopped them, and he told them his boss wanted to meet them. As soon as the boss met them, he started introducing them to each other. And he told Marcus, "I'm very impressed with you." And he told them he'd gone through an accident that killed his wife. After that, he introduced them to the second one, who was Scott. And he was a secret agent who loved money like it was his own eyes. But one time, he killed the wrong person, and he caused a war between terrorist groups. And the next one was a girl named Kana, and she worked for British intelligence for 15 years. And Dyson was an American Navy SEAL, and he worked for the National Security Agency. He also introduced them to Rick, and he worked for himself, and no one could tell him what to do. And Miyachu trained under a Chinese master, and after that, things opened up for him, and he started working for whoever paid more. And the last one was Hebron, and he worked for a private military company. But his biggest flaw was that he didn't follow orders. And he told them, "I'm sure you know why I brought you here." But he said, "I forgot to tell you it's going to be a competition to see who kills me first." Hebron didn't like that then, and he told him, "You lied to us from the start, and I'm pulling out." So he asked them if anyone was coming with him, but no one agreed. And then suddenly, Hebron got shot in the chest, and he fell right where he stood. The guy then told them that no one was leaving until the game was over. But Marcus then asked him, "How are we going to kill Dracos when we don't know what he looks like?" So he told him, "I'm sure you know him, cause I am Dracos." But Kana then asked him, "Why do you want us to kill you?" So he said, "Because I'm the best at everything, and I have a lot of money." So he decided to create this game so he could find out who the best was after him. He also told them they had only one day, and one of them had to kill him, cause if they didn't, he'd kill them himself. And after he finished talking, Kurz told them to get ready for the competition, and to always remember that they were being watched, and they could end up like Hebron at any moment. After that, everyone went to their rooms, but Marcus kept looking around for places where they might have planted cameras. But Kana then opened the door, and she told him she was happy to see him again. But he told her, "You're a liar, cause the last time I saw you, you wanted to kill me." So she told him, "Plans always change, and an enemy can become a friend." And then she asked him, "Why are you here?" So he told her he didn't want to talk about it. A little later, it was dinner time. Dracos meets them, and he drinks tea with them, and he tells them he wanted to see their faces before they died. And after that, he hangs up. Dyson then asks them, "How are you the best in your field and never met each other before?" But Kana told him, "Speak for yourself. I've met Marcus before." But Scott asked them how they could be working for big organizations like the ones they were in, and no one found their location until now. So Kana told him she felt that the competition wasn't just for money, and there was a secret behind it that they didn't know about. Marcus then told her, "This guy's just looking for excitement and fun, and he just wants to see who wins in the end." After that, he got a call from his daughter, and after he made sure she was okay, he found Kana behind him, and she told him, how about we finish the game now? So he told her, I don't understand what you mean. But she then attacked him with great force, and she tried to hit him more than once. But Marcus always blocked her attacks, and they both kept hitting each other for a long time, until Marcus picked her up and threw her against a rock, and she kept groaning from the pain. And he told her then, I think you should finish the game tomorrow instead. And after that, they all went back to their rooms, and everyone started getting ready for the competition in their own way before they went to sleep. As for Marcus, he started having nightmares again. But this time, it was his wife and daughter together, and the poor guy couldn't sleep because of all the nightmares he kept having. Anyway, the next day they all gather again, and Kurz gives them a bag full of all kinds of weapons, swords and rifles to grenades and other stuff you'd like, and each of them took a weapon. And Dracos then told them it was time to draw lots, so they could find out their order, and whoever had the lowest number coin would face him first, and whoever had the highest number coin would face him last. After that, they started picking the coins, but Scott got the lowest number, so he's the one who's going to face him first. But before he went to him, he promised them that after he came back, he'd live off his money. But Kana told him, just come back first, man. At that time, Draco started getting ready, and he put on his mask, and Scott had arrived at the place where he was going to face him. And Dracos kept walking around inside while appearing and disappearing in front of him, until Scott saw him and shot him. But it turned out to be his reflection in the mirror, and Dracos came up behind him after that, and he attacked him. He slammed him against the wall. After that, he shot him in the shoulder with the gun, and he made him fall right where he was. But he came back again, and they kept shooting at each other until Dracos came up behind him, and he cut off his hand in a flash. After that, he grabbed him by the neck, and he wiped the glass with him, and Scott died after that. Dracos then told them, I know you're going to lose, but I'm really impressed with your persistence. Marcus then objected, and he told them he's going to keep beating us one after the other, and that's for one small reason. It's because he's the one who made the game and set the rules, and he also designed all the traps in it. And the only way to beat him is for all of us to face him together. But Dyson told him he definitely wouldn't agree. So he told him, then we won't play anymore. And he asked them who agreed with him. And everyone standing there agreed with him, and they raised their hands, except for Rick. He told him it was a stupid idea. So Marcus told him, since you're so tough, go face him and show us what you got, you beast. But then he left him, and he told Dracos, you brought us here after you tricked us, and we said okay. But you face us with the rules and the traps you set yourself, and you think you're really the best that way? Then you're wrong. You have to face all of us together at the same time. But Dracos refused, of course, and he told him the rules weren't going to change. So Marcus told him, then you're scared of us, and you know if you face us together, you'll lose, and then your reputation will be ruined. Dracos was convinced then, and he told him, I agree, but on one condition. I'll only face 4 of you, and that means you have to get rid of one of yourselves now. Marcus couldn't believe the guy said it himself, and he immediately started beating Rick with his fists until he smashed his face up. But then Dyson left them, and he stood up to get ready for Dracos. He went to the place where he was going to face him, and Dracos kept walking around inside while appearing and disappearing in front of him until Scott saw him and shot him. But it turned out to be his reflection in the mirror, and Dracos came up behind him after that, and he attacked him. He slammed him against the wall. After that, he shot him in the shoulder with the gun, and he made him fall right where he was. But he came back again, and they kept shooting at each other until Dracos came up behind him, and he cut off his hand in a flash. At that time, the 4 of them started getting ready to face him, and as soon as they went into his place, Rick left them, and he immediately ran away. Then a bomb was thrown at them. It sent each of them flying somewhere else, but they immediately gathered their strength again, and they kept looking for each other until Marcus ran into Miyachu. They split up again, and everyone started looking for Dracos in a different place. But Kana was alone then, and suddenly Dracos attacked her with a rope, and he kept choking her with it, but she managed to free herself, and she attacked him again. At that time, Marcus went into a room, and he found a Japanese girl inside, and she had a sword, and she immediately attacked him. At that time, Kana and Dracos were hitting each other, and neither of them could finish off the other, but Dracos was a little quicker than her, and he managed to hit her more than once, and he managed to make her fall after that, and he kept stabbing her in the stomach with the knife until she died. At that time, Marcus was able to dodge all of the girl's hits, and he managed to grab her sword in seconds, and he killed her with it. After that, Marcus got to Kana's spot, and he found out she died, and he kept going to go after Dracos. But Dracos was waiting for Miachu then, and as soon as he saw him, he told him, "You remind me of your dad. He was just like you, and he didn't talk much." So Miachu told him, "Did you kill him for that or for something else?" So he told him, "The rules don't change, and your dad broke them a long time ago. That's why I killed him." But Miachu then attacked him, and they kept fighting each other with swords, and they were both so strong that they couldn't land a single blow on each other. And at the same time, Marcus was still looking for Dracos, but he was surprised by Rick behind him, and he flew out of his place. And Dracos managed to knock Miachu to the ground, and he even managed to wound him. And Rick was beating up Marcus too, and he was destroying his dignity completely. But Marcus refused to die in front of a guy like him, and he got up again, and he attacked him with all his might, and he kept punching him in the face. And after that, he hit him with his leg, and he threw him on the ground. On the other side, Dracos and Miachu were also hitting each other, but because of how close their strength was, neither of them could finish off the other. But in a second, Miachu knocked Dracos to the ground, but before he could finish him off, Dracos hit him in the leg with his sword, and Miachu fell to the ground, and Dracos then killed him while he was completely defeated. At that time, Rick managed to get up again, and he kept holding Marcus by the head, and he wanted to embed it into a metal bar, but Marcus hit him with his leg, and he flew over him, and he gave him a really hard hit. It threw him onto the fan, and his head got shredded inside it. Right after that, he kept going, and he went to Dracos, and he told him, "I was sure I was going to face you in the end." But Marcus told him, "You're not a fair person, because you created a game, and you're facing us in it, and you're the only one who knows the rules, and you follow them yourself." So Dracos told him, "Do you know what the word assassin or warrior means?" So he told him, "No." Dracos then told him, "I'll tell you the origin of the word. There was an old Arab sultan who recruited some soldiers so they could carry out secret missions for him. And to make them follow him and believe in him, he'd give them drugs to drink. And he'd tell them that the pleasure they feel after drinking it is nothing compared to what they'll see if they die for him." So Marcus asked him, "And what am I supposed to understand from that?" He told him, "I always want to test myself and find out if there's anyone stronger than me. And if I find someone like you, I won't have mercy on him." Marcus then told him, "I'm here to get the money, even if I die on my way to it." Then he pulled out the rifle and he started shooting at him. But Marcus kept running from him until he shot him and he made him fall. But the problem was he was wearing bulletproof armor and the bullets didn't affect him. Marcus then threw his gun away and he attacked him. He hit him with his leg and he knocked him down. But before he could finish him off, the light kept going on and off, and Dracos disappeared in front of him. And he started talking about his wife. And he told him he could have saved her then if he'd told her everything. But he chose to hide it from her until she was gone. And when he was put in the same situation again, he risked himself for his sick daughter. And he could also die. And his daughter won't know anything about him. Then Dracos appeared in front of him. And he tried to stab him in the chest. But Marcus blocked his hit. And he attacked him with great force. And the two of them started beating each other up. After that, Marcus flew at him and he hit him with his leg. He broke the table with him, but Dracos didn't stop, and he didn't agree to give up, and he grabbed a bottle from the ground. He stabbed him in the chest with it. Marcus then attacked him again, and he grabbed the glass, and he put the knife to his neck, and he kept choking him with it. At that time, Kurz arrived with his men, and he put the gun to his back, and he told him, "You won." After that, he gave him his prize. And Dracos told him that this card allowed him to access a bank account in the Cayman Islands, and the account had $10 million in it. And he could save his daughter with it. But before he left, he asked him to help him take out a group of international criminals. Their goal was to create a new world order, and this competition was meant to find a partner for him, and the best one of them, so he could help him take them out. And he told him, "I won't pressure you now because of your daughter, but I'll contact you later to find out if you agree or not." 6 months passed, and his daughter had the surgery, and she recovered from the illness. And they were sitting in a pizza restaurant eating together. But then he got a message on his phone. And as soon as he opened it, he saw a video of the person who killed his wife. And the surprise was that this person was his friend, Axe. After that, Dracos met him, and he told him that his friend was also part of this group, and he told him they managed to clone his phone, and they were the ones who sent the message to his wife with the location where he was. And after that, they killed her when he wasn't looking. And he told him they call themselves the Lost Sword Group, and he asked him, "Do you agree or not after all you've heard?" So he told him he agreed, but he told him he had to protect his daughter first. And Dracos told him, "It's a deal," and the movie ends there. Hope you liked the summary. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if this is the first time you're watching us. I'll see you in the next movie. Peace out.